Welcome. Today we are taking you through the deployment of DataWald, a powerful data integration tool for connecting diverse systems. This guide will really break down the setup process in detail so you can get up and running really quickly with DataWald. Now let's dive into the deployment process. First, clone the DataWald repository from GitHub to your local system. This instruction will show each step in detail. Let's first create a Silva Engine folder. In this folder, we will download the Silva Engine and the DataWald deployment repo. Then we go to the outer layer, so at the same level as the Silva Engine folder, and download the Silva Engine Docker repo. We will use it later to create our deployment Docker container. After the download is complete, we enter the Silva Engine Docker directory, create the folders that will be used in the deployment, and create the configuration file. Once that is done, we run Docker Composer build to create the deployment container. Here we create directories for logs, projects, and SSH. These folders will be used during deployment and mapped into container. The deployment program already includes a sample env file. Please refer to the existing template to create the configuration file. Adjust it according to your own situation or directly refer to the video. Now, so we can run the Docker build program. After creating the deployment container, run it on your server. Now the Docker deployment container for Silva Engine is ready. Now let's actually deploy Silva Engine Base to Amazon. To speed up the setup process, DataWald includes a sort of CloudFormation script. Running the script will provision all required Amazon resources automatically, including event bridge rules, SQS queues, and Lambda function. This step is so crucial as it creates a structured environment that's ready for DataWald's operation. Simply run the script, review the CloudFormation stack for any additional parameters you might want to adjust, and let Amazon handle the whole setup for you. Next, we will use the Docker deployment container that was started earlier to officially deploy the full set of Silva Engine to AWS. First, we need to switch to the Silva Engine folder and configure env file in the DataWald deployment folder. The system comes with a sample env file for reference. Please adjust it according to your actual situation. Also, please create an AWS access key and secret in advance, which will be needed to fill an env file. The program will need to use them to access your AWS account to create various components, so please give this set of keys just enough permission. After the configuration, enter our Leo deployment container. Here, I will demonstrate how to switch to the Python runtime environment and run the deployment script. Now let's add necessary configurations to database table. Once the configuration is in place, run the DW requirements script to install all necessary dependencies. This script will set up any Python libraries or additional tools like DataWald needs to operate. Begin by setting up Lambda configurations in the Lambda config file. This configuration file allows you to specify parameters such as environment variables, the event sources, and other essential settings to tailor DataWald's functionality to your environment. First, we log into AWS DynamoDB and add the corresponding configuration records to the SE endpoint table. Please add them according to your actual situation. I will add all items for reference here. Next, we switch to the SE connection table, and as before, add the necessary sort of configuration item. Please add them according to your actual situation. I will add all items for reference here. After we have completed the configuration for the SEN point table and the SE connection table, let's return to the Docker deployment container and run the DW requirements script. The script will install the required dependencies for the program and configure them based on our previous configuration items. Now let's complete the final part of the configuration work. This part of the work still needs to be done in AWS Dynamo DB. We will need to add configure items in the SE config data table. First, to establish the base configuration, so we need to insert the following records into the SE config data table. Here I list the purposes of these configuration items, and you can also visit my GitHub for more specific explanation. All right, let's continue to add the remaining configuration items. Again, I will list the purposes of these configuration items here. Please refer to my GitHub for more detail. Finally, we need to make some adjustments to the configuration items in the SE connection table. Please refer to the examples on my GitHub for adjustment. Modify them according to your actual situation. I have provided examples for modifications to NetSuite, SQS, and DynamoDB. Please select based on your actual circumstances. And that's the deployment process for DataWald. With Silva Engine and Amazon Web Service, you have a robust, scalable data integration system at your fingertip. Make sure to review the documentation for more details and just feel free to reach out if you have questions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more tech deployment guides.